Hi. Um, Sorry about my voice, first of all. I caught cold and so I have raspy voice. And I didn't write a script for this video, so I might be here and there. So please bear with me. And okay, here we go. To be honest, I don't even know where to start, and because it's a long story. But I think it's better for me to tell you chronologically, so that you can see the full story and you can see the full picture. And it all started in 2007, and I was 13, coming back home from school, and I felt that dull pain. I'm sorry, dull pain on my neck and shoulder. And I didn't think much of it, obviously, because I thought it would go away, but it didn't. It became kind of like a companion, like my friend and my arch nemesis at the same time, because that dull pain wouldn't let me be alone. It was always there with me. So yeah, from a young age, I was in chronic pain without knowing why it's happening to me. Of course, I went to see so many doctors, so many physiotherapists, so many even chiropractors, but no one could solve it. Some could give me some relief, but I never perfectly recovered from it. So I think from a fairly young age, I learned how to live with constant pain. And when I was in my teenager so in 2000 so fast forward to 2014, I was in college, and that day I finished my gym session and I was coming home, and I was hungry, so I went to a noodle place and I was eating noodles. And at the time I had picked up a habit of cracking my neck. Like you rotate your neck until it pops. It became a habit for me because it gave me some relief in short term. So that day also, I was eating noodles, and because my neck was stiff, I rotated until it pops, and then all of a sudden I felt really sharp pain. It was really sharp and radiating pain. And instantly I knew something was wrong. But still, I thought it would go away. But it got worse and worse. And that night, I couldn't sleep. I was just lying in the bed of my 1 square meter room that I rented for my college. I couldn't even sleep. I just stayed in bed with my eyes wide open. And I think the next day I went to see a doctor, and I got an x-ray and found out that my C7 spinous process was broken. So it's basically when you touch the back of your neck, you feel the bumpy bone, right? That is C7, spinous process. And that part was broken. And I saw the x-ray, and then the gap between the bones, the broken part and the original part the gap was very wide. Like it was almost like 1 to 2 centimeters. And the doctor told me, I don't know why the fuck it happened, but it happened. And because the gap is too wide, it wouldn't heal. I think you might have to just live with it, because even surgery wouldn't do much. And yeah, that was really weird, right? Like, I know that I had been suffering from neck pain, but I didn't fall from a building, or I didn't get into a car accident. I didn't do wrestling, but I was just rotating my neck to crack it. And my bone was broken. Like, something must be really wrong with my neck. That's what I thought. And I decided to book one of the most prestigious spinal surgeons in the country, and I did. And I waited a full year to see him, and I still remember that day so vividly. So before I went to see him, I had written notes, I wrote down all the details about my symptoms and what I had gone through, when it gets worse, when it gets better, like how it feels, all the details, what I've tried and what worked like in a short term and what didn't work at all. I wrote down everything, and he just glanced at my note, and he showed me the x-ray and the MRI they took. And all he said was, I mean, it's obvious you're in pain. Look at the x-ray, look at the MRI. Your bones, your cervical bones are literally, it looks like a 65-year-old man's. And I was fucking 20 years old. And when I heard that from him, I know it might sound I'm exaggerating, but it was like a life sentence. I had been suffering from the pain for at least 7 years by then, 8 years, 7 years. And I was looking for the answer, and he's the most prestigious doctors in Korea. And I was hoping for the answer, and I thought he would give me the answer, and all I got was, I mean, it's fucking obvious you're in pain. Your neck looks like an old man's. It was so depressing. And yeah, I don't even want to think about that moment, to be honest. But yeah, because of that, I found out that I had herniated discs as well, not only the broken bones. And because of that, I was supposed to go to mandatory military service. I had to serve for 2 years for my country. Every Korean man must do the service. But I got rejected after the re-examination of my neck, because I was not in the condition of serving as a soldier but instead I had to do 2 years of social service. Yeah, it so but I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. Yeah, the condition was, the pain that I felt was, the level of pain was here and there. Some days I felt better, some days I felt worse, but it was never zero. It was never perfectly okay since 2007. So it was kind of like a survival for me. I had to live with it. I had to learn how to live with it. And you know, sometimes on my worst days, I wanted to pull my head off to be free from the pain. I know it sounds dramatic, but that's how I felt. And I've done so many things. I've tried so many things. Like, I bought this thing called neck hammock. So it's a kind of rope that you connect with your neck, and that you put your heads on the hammock, and then you connect it with the doorknob, and it's stretchy, like rubber band material, so it will pull off your neck, and you feel slightly better when you're doing it. So I tried that at home every single day. I did so many rehab exercises, like rotating cuff strengthening, thoracic mobility, you know, all the rehab exercises, core stability exercises and everything. And some things gave me relief, some things didn't work at all, but yeah, I've tried so many things. And fast forward to 2020, I think. And at that time I was a translator, and I didn't finish my college. I stopped my college, and I was working as a full-time English Korean translator, and I did some English tutoring as a side hustle. And one day, I think I finished my job for the day, and I was doing some exercises like push-ups and pull-ups, sit-ups, and while I was doing my sit-up, all of a sudden I felt that sharp, radiating electrical sensation shooting through from my neck to my left finger. And yeah, again, I thought something was wrong, but still, I guess I'm inherently optimistic. Maybe I thought it would go away, but it did not. It was very different from the pain that I had been experiencing. It was very sharp and electrical sensation, and really, really agonizing and annoying. It's hard to sleep. It was hard to fall asleep. And I think after a few days, I was washing my face. That electrical sensation was still there constantly. It didn't go away at all. And I was washing my face, and I looked into the mirror, and I saw something really weird. My left arm looked much smaller than my right arm. Yeah, my left arm muscle was shrinking. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then I tried push-ups. At the time, I could do 30 push-ups without breaking a sweat. But that day, I couldn't even do one. Because my left arm, my left tricep, couldn't hold my weight at all. So yeah, that was a very... I don't even know how to describe the emotion that I felt. But it was really depressing. And I think that's when I think that was the first moment that maybe I should get a surgery. Maybe I should remove the herniated disc and replace with the artificial disc. Then maybe it will go away. I was thinking maybe it's a good thing. Finally it happened, because finally it's time for me to get surgery. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking back and forth. But I went to see a doctor, and the doctor told me, no, don't get a surgery. Just get some spinal injection and let's see how it goes. And I got the injection. I got physical therapy. I got some traction therapy. And slowly, very slowly, the pain got better. And I did some isolated tricep extension with the lightest weight that I can get from home. I think it was 1 kilogram. I did this. The ceiling is too low, so you cannot see the full picture, but that's exactly what I did. Holding the 1 kilogram dumbbell and did tricep extension to get my strength back. I did it every day. I was getting better, slowly, and I think it took about 7 months until I got my strength back. But that was a really big moment in my life, and I was in depression, I think, and that memory is also very foggy and vague. I think part of the reasons why I don't remember it vividly is because I think my brain doesn't want to go back there. I think it's kind of like my coping mechanism. But I think that experience taught me that no one will come to save me. And it's gonna be just me who can do anything for myself. And I started to read papers and research and all the documents that I can get my hands on. And I've learned a lot about human body, anatomy, muscle, kinesiology, pain science, you name it. Like, I've read so many stuffs and I've learned a lot. And one day I thought that, what if I became one? What if I became a physiotherapist? And also, translation job wasn't promising because of ChatGPT, so I decided to change my career to become a PT. And yeah, in 2021, I invested the whole year to study, to transfer to one of the most prestigious PT colleges in Korea. And I studied really, really hard. I remember those times. And I got into the college, and I'm really proud of that. I still am. So, yeah, I went to college, and in 2024, I became a licensed physiotherapist. Looking back, in some days, I feel like maybe this is my life calling. The whole condition, like the condition that I'm in, the chronic pain that I had to suffer, was meant for something, was meant to become a person who I am right now. I don't know. Maybe this is also just my coping mechanism, but yeah, what can I do about it, right? It's better for me to be optimistic than being miserable. Although I was miserable in the past, but I think I've learned how to deal with it and how to live with it. So now I'm treating so many kinds of patients. Patients suffering from back pain, neck pain, shoulder problem, some, like twisted ankles, some degenerative conditions, osteoarthritis, plantar fasciitis, everything. And I think, all the experience that I had, the life experience that I had was really beneficial for me as a PT, because I could relate to my patients and I know exactly what they're going through. So it became kind of my asset. And so I'm still in pain. Some days are like usual, some days are better, some days are worse, but I'm still in pain. And I'm also worried that because it's a degenerative condition, it might get worse in the future, and I'm scared of that. But what can I do about it? I'll see how I'm gonna handle the situation when the time comes. So I try to focus on the present, and I try to appreciate what I have right now. So I've learned many things through this journey, and if you're someone who's suffering from chronic pain like I am, there's some advice that I can give you. So if you're suffering from chronic pain, not acute pain like if you got injured from an accident or from sports, but if you're genuinely suffering from chronic pain that lasted at least for a few months or for years or for decades, most probably it's not just physical. I think it's highly likely it's a combination of so many factors. It could be your height, it could be your diet, it could be your stress level, it could be your mental health issues, it could be your diets, or it could be the injury that happened from long time ago. So it's really hard to pinpoint what is the exact problem, and I don't think it's just one problem. I think it's a combination of so many factors. And so try things by yourself, like you can change the diet and see how you feel. Some diets can cause, can increase your inflammation level, like cause inflammation, eating too much, taking too much sugar, or, like super processed foods. It's obviously it's not good for your health. And maybe you can look out for your alcohol intake, if you're smoking, maybe you can try quitting it. And if your stress level is really high, then it will definitely affect your pain level, because when you're stressed, there are some muscles that are activated first. And those muscles are your shoulder muscles, your neck muscles, your front neck muscles also, and your jaw muscles. So your stress level is directly connected with your neck pain, also your back pain as well. And maybe you should sleep better, because when you don't sleep enough, of course you will become more sensitive to the pain. And also, like, long-standing chronic pain will change the whole nervous system of your body, and you need to learn how to re-educate your body. That's why your mindset is really important. If you are just stuck there, if you're just depressed, if you're just miserable and thinking that nothing will help you, no one will save you, and if you're only thinking negative thoughts, then it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So mental health and resilience is really important. That's one thing I've learned recently. And being mindful of your condition is one thing, but being a coward is another thing. For instance, I don't participate. I don't do any sports, like combative sports, or any sports that might put high load on my spine. I don't do those sports, even though I love it. Trust me, I love jiu-jitsu and I really enjoy the sports, but I quit because of my neck injury and because of my condition. And I wanted to try boxing as well, but yeah, I don't do that because I know it's gonna make it worse. So it's a wise thing to do, to avoid all the things that might cause serious problems, but at the same time you shouldn't be a coward, like in a sense that, so yeah, be smart about what to avoid, but at the same time don't be too scared to try things, and don't be stuck in your head. Just go out, embrace the nature and meet people. And when you believe that you will get better and you can get better, that's when your body is ready to get better. But if you're constantly framing yourself as a weak person, or if your identity has become a weak person, and if you truly believe that, then there's no chance that you'll get better, because you don't believe that shit. I know it sounds like a guru saying that you gotta believe yourself, you gotta believe you're strong, blah blah blah, like motivational speech. And I'm not trying to be, but This is really important because when you shift your mindset, when you think you're strong enough to get better, all the hormones and all the brain chemicals will be optimized to make that happen. And fear makes your body weak and it increases your pain level. It's not philosophy, it's neuroscience. So yeah, I'm still in pain and I'm still working on it. And it feels good to finally sharing this with people, because I never shared my emotions and everything I went through with anybody like this level. Like, this is my first time. And it's an irony that I'm sharing this with random online people, not sharing this with people I personally know. But I guess I didn't want to be seen as a weak person. And I guess it was my ego, but here I am. I'm still in pain and I'm still on my way. And I hope you are too. And good luck. Have a good day.